How do we identify if our child is a victim of bully?
First thing first, kalau dia balik dia asyik muram, and then let's say kau plan some activities, tapi dia keluar dia tak happy, mean something is wrong. Ataupun dia senang marah. Pasal apa? Dia mangsa bully kat sekolah. Dia akan lepaskan kemarahan dia dekat orang lain apa?
Yes.
So dia akan lepaskan juga kat mana? Kat rumah. Jadi that's why it is very important when we talk about parenting, kita kena selalu always plan activities dengan anak kita. During these activities ni, that's where kita start to share. Tengah good mood apa?
Bila happy lagi mulut gini kena cakap.
This is where I know what are my child's activities, which as parents you also need to know. Bila korang tahu pergerakan dia, karakter dia, we can slowly start to know that dia ni adakah dia bully orang atau dia mangsa bully. This episode is sponsored by Shima Martin Bridal.
Jangan lupa follow mereka di social media mereka, Instagram, TikTok dan juga Facebook.
Dan juga korang boleh WhatsApp mereka di 88947691.
Dan jangan lupa pakai promo Rebuild 100
untuk mendapatkan $100 off untuk package 2 pasang baju ke atas. Shima Martin Bridal, affordability at its finest. And guys, welcome back.
Welcome back
guys. So this episode kita nak berbual pasal a very not say a sensitive topic. I think it's one of a information topic where kita nak cover about bullies.
Yes, di mana kita dalam boys home kita kena bully, dan di mana kita pula jadi orang yang bully.
Yes, tapi in context aku nak cover in general jugalah pasal bully. So kenapa orang bully, kenapa dibully.
Betul.
So I think this is where kita nak cover juga this kind of topic, because I think when we talk about this, macam pada aku dia ada difference tau. Macam aku pernah share juga in my previous past episode, where aku punya style is aku tak suka bully.
Betul.
Okay. Aku punya style macam kalau aku tak suka kau, dulu kalau aku tak suka kau, aku terus rembat kau, then that's it. Okay. But maybe to some people, pada dorang is a bully. So dia nembak aku dia ni bully aku. So it can be is either a bully. That's why kita nak kena differentiate the bully and beating up. So technically dia macam related lah. Cuma when we want to pecahkan the terms of bully, like what do bullies do?
Okay.
Macam what kau kena dulu kat boys home, that's a bully apa. Macam diorang nak bahankan kau.
Yes.
So in a way bully ni macam diorang nak bahankan kau, diorang nak discriminate kau, diorang nak macam malukan kau. Then I think pasal bully ni dia bukan setakat hurt you physically.
Yeah.
It will also hurt you mentally. Kau akan mental soul.
Betul.
Macam okay, contoh kau kena bully, habis kau ambil video dia ni kena pukul, dia ni kena bully, lepas tu kau viralkan dia. The pain doesn't just stop there. You know, you will have to go through, you have to face it mentally when when your video goes viral. But the question here is, kenapa orang bully? Tu yang important.
Yalah, like for example pun sekarang pun banyak dekat social media kita tengok terlalu banyak kes bully. Or kes-kes kena pukul ke. Yang recentnya aku actually baru cakap dekat ni podcast, cakap east side is the best side kawan-kawan. Sekali yang terjadi ni kat Meridian Secondary School kat Pasir Ris.
Ada baru-baru video lagi ke?
Yeah. It's not video lah. It's whereby this girl, she was a sec 1. Sekali dia punya senior semua, satu orang panggil dia keluar.
Okay.
Jumpa dekat void deck.
Okay.
Sekali dia kena sepak for at least 20 minit.
Ui, syailah, all the way kena sepak.
Tu dia punya statement tu macam lari sikit. Takkan orang sepak.
Alah, betul.
But it's continuous lah. But 6 orang tengah kita keropok dia lah, senang cakap.
Tapi there's a difference between perempuan yang bully dengan laki punya bully tau. But let us talk about laki punya bully, because based on kita punya experience, based on our point of view, our perspective towards bullies. Because ini pada aku there are various reasons kenapa bully do such things.
Yalah,
okay.
Betul.
It could be mungkin di rumah he was being abused.
Yeah.
Okay, abuse not just physically, mungkin dia pun kena mental abuse. Dia bingit dekat rumah.
Dekat rumah jadi mate lagi dia.
Something like that. So dekat rumah dia kena treated badly by his parents,
siblings ke.
And that's where dia lepaskan dekat orang luar.
Betul.
That could be one of the potential things. Secondly is because dia rasa macam power. Kat rumah semua okay, because there are people juga dekat rumah macam everything is well, mak bapak baik, mak bapak doing well, parents, siblings semua okay. Tapi diorang pun jadi bully. Kau tahu macam tengok drama-drama. Kau tahu macam anak orang kaya selalu yang bully apa. Betul lah. Macam dia kaya-kaya pun boleh bully. Tapi kenapa dia ada that kind of mindset? Because mungkin pada some people it's thrilling to them.
Yeah, correct.
And especially it will escalate bila orang-orang macam gini yang tak ada masalah kat rumah, diorang akan buat macam gini, dan diorang akan escalate melebih is when they have support.
Yeah,
they have people
the
cheering them up, or they feel that macam they want people to look up to them.
Diorang macam ada supporter gitu lah.
Jadi macam pada orang macam orang suka aku buat benda macam gini. So diorang feel that diorang ni ada tu power. Diorang buat benda-benda macam gini. Tapi pada aku, okay, why, the main question here is kenapa ada bullies going around? Untuk kau, Haikal, apa pandangan kau, pendapat kau tentang, kita tak mau cakap pasal recent cases lah. Okay, aku tak nak cover on the recent cases pasal budak ITE ke, budak sekolah ni ke, budak sekolah tu ke. Because why? I'm afraid that it could be parents, cousins are still listening, and I don't want them to ingat balik pasal case tu. Tapi kita nak berbual in a context of a general discussion.
Okay. Untuk aku macam, I think I agree with you on that part whereby dulu aku kena bully, so that's why aku bully. But when aku bully, aku make sure aku don't go to the extent macam how aku kena bully dulu, rabak, kena macam kepala, kena kat tu drill, kena tumbuk,
Ultraman lah.
Ultraman itu semua untuk aku tu terlampau zalim lah. Gigit slipper, tak sing tu terus dah gigit terus kena tumbuk. Tu macam those are all too extreme lah untuk aku. Macam it is not necessary lah. But for me it's just like, aku dah pernah kena bully, but then when aku pass on the generation of bully to another person, aku punya cara bully semua macam manja-manja punya tau. Sini, nanti aku pakai katil, kau just lipat je. Buat itu je. But for me, I think I don't want to enforce on this bully, because macam actually being a bully is, untuk aku, is just make you a coward. Dan kau takut lah. Pasal kau ada backing, kau ramai baru kau berani.
Correct.
Bila aku pernah nampak yang aku cakap kau yang that time one of the boys in boys home ni, he was once the person who got a victim of bully.
Okay.
Sekali dia dah okay, orang yang nak bully dia, terus dia rembat tu budak.
Okay.
Dia ambil taksing, selipar taksing yang kita pakai tu. Dia hentak-hentak muka dia. Budak tu muka pecah. Kalau kau ingat tu budak lah.
Okay.
Dekat tu tempat. Because I think budak tu pun kena bully rabak.
Okay.
Dia kurus-kurus, dia kena bully rabak. Terus dia, bila budak tu nak besar kepala, dia pukul balik yang orang bully dia.
Dia return lah, kira
return lah.
So dia dendam juga tu.
Macam untuk aku tak dendam. Aku bukan pendendam orang. But in the extent of bully, kadang-kadang takut macam orang pendendam, nanti bila diorang dah dapat tu power balik, that's where diorang akan bully kau balik. Kalau tak dapat, kat luar aku nampak aku mesti kasih kau.
Tapi tu dah kira revenge lah. Because like macam tadi kau cakap, kau tak nak pass the generation. But somehow I feel that dekat boys home ni, let's talk about boys home in context. Dalam boys home ni, I think it's all about culture.
Betul.
Macam pada diorang, okay, dulu aku masuk, aku kena go through this stage. So it's like a standard procedure. You as a newcomer, you also have to go through the same thing. So that's how the culture is passed on. Where, let's say contoh, macam dulu kita pernah ceritakan in the previous episode about L7.
Ya, betul.
So pada diorang macam, kalau tak ada orang jamin kau, aku dulu kena L7 apa?
Kawan aku kena L7 dengan aku.
Sekarang kau masuk, kau pretend pula kena L7. It's like a culture thing. But the good thing, not a good thing lah. Walaupun tu kawan kau, ada belas kasihan.
Tapi aku cakap kawan aku, kau rada orang lain pukul kau, aku sini pukul kau. Untuk aku just, alah ringan-ringan duduk, aku kasi kau kat rusuk kata kat wing sini, kat situ, tak sakit apa.
Yes. Tapi macam if we talking about in a psychological way of how bully thinks lah, it will be very bad kalau that person yang bully tu tak ada rasa belas kasihan.
Ya.
So kau imagine macam contoh, we talking about boys home context again. Kau masuk, kau kena bully.
Correct.
So somehow kau dah ada power untuk bully orang. Okay, kau dah ada power lah, senang cakap. Besar dalam boys home ada cara. Kau tak semestinya kau budak baru, kau dah habis kau punya kena bully stage, kau dah boleh bully orang lain. Dia ada two stage tau.
Betul.
Okay, kau dah boleh buat apa kau nak dengan budak baru kan. Tapi it comes to the extent bila macam, wah, kau kalau buat benda, kau bully orang sampai tak ada tu rasa belas kasihan, then I think that is very dangerous.
Correct.
Because that is where it gives a hint that bila dia boleh buat benda-benda macam gini, high potential bila dia keluar, he can be a violent person.
Let's not talk about luar lah, okay? Let's talk about the context of bringing the culture to RTC.
Oh yeah.
That's where kita tahu yang there are this case yang terjadi, yang which led these 3 inmates to, I think the paling jauh is 18 years.
Oh yeah.
Diorang pernah kena 18 tahun because of this. Actually it leads from bully lah.
Yeah.
Pasal this culture from Boys Home diorang bawa. Kita bawa pergi RTC. Terus diorang bully, diorang nak cakap pun aku macam malu lah. But it escalated from this bully, from Boys Home. Actually aku tak tahu.
So benda terjadi ni is budak-budak yang daripada yang RTC yang this thing happen. These boys are also from Boys Home lah.
Actually one of them.
Okay.
2 of them.
Okay.
2 of them from Boys Home. So they inherit this culture and they bring it over to RTC. Tapi bila RTC tu dah macam diorang dah keluar, diorang recall balik, so they are still, diorang masih implement dalam diri diorang, diorang masih ada tu Boys Home punya paitau. Kali kat dalam bilik tu salah satu orang ni kena bully seteruk-teruknya sampai budak tu kira rusuk patah, dah kira dah bukan macam manusia lah.
Lagi pasal dalam RTC is in a closed doors.
Itu rabak.
Not much supervision from officers.
Cuma kalau aku nak elaborate lebih sikit, ada kes sampai makan tai, makan minum air kencing. So sampai tahap gitulah.
Sampai tu the extent diorang sampai bully macam gitu
And then which led them to, like I said lah, 18 tahun, 16 tahun.
Tapi in a way kalau macam being, let's talk about being a bully before kita cover on being bullied. Why do these people have this kind of mindset? Macam kau tak, macam pada aku yalah, I mean when we talk about gang related, aku boleh rembat kau habis cerita. Tapi kalau kau nak bahankan budak tu, kau macam nak malukan dia, sebenarnya apa yang diorang nak capai sebenarnya?
Trying to achieve.
What are they trying to achieve doing this kind of things?
Macam aku rasa untuk kita punya konteks macam, kalau aku nak kasih dia sasui satu kali
kira in the terms of sasui tu kira nak malukan dia, rabak-rabak.
Malukan dia rabak-rabak sampai kira backdoor pun jalan.
Tu dah kira sexual things tu dah sampai involve. That one dah tahap rabak gila.
Dah rabak gila.
Wah, pada aku, I mean that's the thing. Bila the reasons can vary, where some people like macam aku cakap, diorang punya bully ni it can comes from home. It comes from home where something happen at home, jadi dia lepaskan geram dia pada orang lain. In another situation juga, mungkin diorang rasa macam diorang want power lah, and they get the support and everything all. Cuma pada aku, being a bully is not cool lah.
Of course
it's not cool, because yes, you can get that power, you can get that macam apa tu diorang cakap, the support, the cheers from other people. But in a way, kau pun nak kena fikir that bila kita buat benda-benda macam gini dekat orang, kau rasa that kau feel powerful.
Correct.
Tapi what if that person yang kau bully tu, macam kau cakap cerita kat dalam Boys Home, dia senyap satu kali, kalau dia revenge, dia retaliate balik, it can be worse, much more worse than what you did to that person.
But actually untuk aku, revenge ni macam masih okay tau. Jangan sampai kau dah kahwin, dah ada anak sendiri, anak kau kena seperti mana kau bully orang.
So kira orang cakap kifara lah tu.
Imagine lah kau kena, kira apa yang kau buat dalam bilik RTC tu, kau buat, imagine tu anak kau. What would you feel?
Pasal pada aku lah, at that point of time, mungkin these boys, they are naive. Okay, they can't think straight. To them, some people like to the extent bullying other people, it's fun.
Yeah, correct.
They doing it, macam aku cakap tadi, is the thrill, and it's the fun out of it. That's why dekat dalam Boys Home ni bila kita cakap pasal bully ni they really take it seriously tau. Kau bully, kau boleh terbang pergi RTC tau.
Betul.
Kau boleh sampai terbang ke RTC. Jadi pada aku macam to the extent macam, okay, macam aku mungkin aku ada belas kasihan. Walaupun yes, my cases whenever it comes to gang related can be severe. Tapi bila aku nak bahankan orang, aku tak sampai hati.
Berat lah.
Macam pada aku, yes, kadang-kadang when we talk about okay, aku tak sebulu dengan dia ni, aku tak suka dengan muka dia ni. Be a man lah, senang cakap. That's why macam kau cakap tadi, I agree with the term that when you are a bully, you are a coward.
Correct.
Kalau kau tak suka dengan dia ni, ajak fight lah. I mean, okay, not say ajak fight lah, ajak berbual dulu lah. Okay.
Tapi kalau tengok muka dah tak boleh berbual bro.
Tapi macam pada aku is rather than kalau kau tak happy dengan dia ni, is at least kau offer dia, be a man lah. Be gentle, offer one on one lah. One to one ke ataupun, you know, if you can talk things out, we talk things out lah. I mean like ini we talking about back then what we are supposed to think rather than kau nak sengaja nak panggil ramai-ramai just untuk kenakan dia. Which is a coward lah.
Kalau kau cakap satu mentality tak suka kan. Pasal kalau dulu main time, kita punya time, kalau orang gaduh semua pasal lu tengok apa?
Yalah.
Aku tak suka ke tak sebulu dengan muka kau. Kau tengok aku tengok kau padat macam glance dia. Tak ada lu tengok apa? Lucu apa? Gaduh. Tumbuk. Which I think we also don't want to encourage all this lah. Kalau boleh you know, kita semua we are born fair. Muka dia pun kadang-kadang kita tengok pun memang kita tak suka, tak menyampah. Just keep your opinion to yourself. Simpan. Kalau korang dengar kita episode yang previously, kira bersabar tu ada lebih baik lah. Kadang-kadang kita mengalah pun bukan semestinya kita kalah.
Pasal ini baru kita bawa pasal lelaki. Kalau pasal perempuan is very common lah. I think even for the girls in school pun masa aku tak happy dengan dia ni menggatalkan mata aku ke apa, those kind of things, right?
Dia ni start jambu.
Cuma aku notice lah, for me lah, kalau aku notice selalunya perempuan ni kalau diorang tak happy with someone, diorang suka berkomplot, panggil ramai-ramai, nak hang dia ni ke, nak pukul dia ni ke. Cuma I mean at the end of the day, what we are trying to point out on this topic is where kadang-kadang benda gini is when korang kena ada tu sifat kemaafan.
Yes.
Pasal kalau korang simpan dalam hati, macam yes, kadang-kadang bingit, kita akan ada geram dengan seseorang. Macam tak happy. But I think the end of the day, kita kena try berbual dulu. I mean it's easy said, walaupun kita dah pernah lalui benda tu. Our reaction wasn't what we are trying to tell you guys over here. Cuma it's just that macam sekarang, you all have to understand, because this kind of small little things, once they escalate, it will make you come into a situation where kau dah rasa benda ni normal. So macam kita, bila kita dah biasa start from boys home, alah tak happy gaduh normal, tak happy gaduh fight one to one normal. Tapi without realizing, bila kita dah ada this kind of character, that's where the violence start to escalate.
Okay, sebelum kita go over aku nak tanya kau satu soalan. Kau dekat boys home, kau ada macam ambilkan aku air, ada macam socai tak?
Socaikan orang Aku
tak, bukan okay lah, we try to put in a very good manner. Kau pernah macam selalu kat boys home, tolong buat ni, you use the word tolong?
Aku selalunya aku tak ada macam buat orang macam socai lah.
Macam tu tak, tolong.
Tak ada. So far aku tak ada.
Macam aku bilik semua members apa. Semua members. This word tolong, cakap bro tolong ambil air. Bro tolong ni. Tapi bila aku balik rumah, bila aku pakai tu word tolong, tak pakai. So aku rasa macam, tolong nak ni. Kau pergi ambil sendiri. Okay. So aku felt that aku dah get used to macam bro tolong bro, ambilkan aku punya ni. Bro tolong bro, nanti TV tak tolong tutup Aku keep on using this macam tolong. Bila aku sampai kat rumah, bila dah tak ada orang, siapa nak tolong aku
Yalah betul.
Semua aku nak kena pergi sendiri So last aku rasa aku inherit that behaviour. Aku bawa balik rumah tu, aku cakap alamak, last aku tak ada orang nak tolong aku. Kat dalam boleh macam bro tolong bro nanti aku tak boleh cuci toilet boleh. Kau minta tolong.
Yalah.
But when kat rumah, kau sakit ke, kau apa ke, kau pun nak kena cuci toilet. Kau tak, toilet kau kotor.
Correct. Tapi memang I think that's the point here where macam certain things like you don't get physical. Okay, macam mana pun yes, there are days kau takkan happy with someone. Misunderstanding dah orang cakap. Salah faham, miscommunication or whatever thing lah. I mean especially for the youngsters lah, if you're listening, I think to bully someone, I think is a coward thing to do. Okay, sekiranya macam, I mean it's hard. As boys being boys, yes, there are days macam kita betul tak happy with this person. Pada aku the best is, yes, memang as simple as it is let the teachers, tell the teachers. What can teachers do? Rasa kadang-kadang kalau macam kita as in the gangster term berbual dengan polis boleh buat apa?
Yalah.
Polis tak boleh buat apa-apa apa. Tengah polis nak pergi tangkap dia, you know, those kind of things. But as much as possible, try not to get physical. Because once that start kan, dia dah akan escalate to more bigger things. Pasal sometimes yes, kita niat macam aku nak berbual dengan dia. Dan kadang-kadang dia ni overreact. Lepas tu dia ni macam tolak engkau ke, sepak engkau ke, and then it just happen instantaneously. It just happen on the spot.
Kalau aku buka langkah 1000. Sebelum aku nak masuk silat ni, aku minta cikgu aku, cikgu boleh ajar saya satu teknik je. Langkah 1000. Jadi orang sepak aku langkah 1000, ciao. Lagi selamat.
Tapi yalah, macam cakap senang lah. I mean for us to be explaining to you guys ni memang rasa dia macam senang. Cuma pada aku, okay, sometimes we have to be smart. Okay, let's say macam there's any misunderstanding. Kau rasa kalau kau nak turun, nak berbual kan, kau tahu that ni akan ada gaduh, tak payah turun semua.
Betul.
Kena, orang tak kisah orang cakap kau pengecut ke, takut ke, apa ke. Kalau kau rasa kau salah, admit it. Just cakap, okay, aku minta maaf. Aku rasa benda ni aku nak settle lah. Kalau diorang masih instigate, tak ada kau turun dari gini. Kalau kau tahu kau turun, kau ke gaduh, tak payah turun sudah lah.
Lagi baik selamatkan diri sendiri.
Selamatkan diri sendiri guys. Pasal at the end of the day, is antara kau pukul orang atau kau kena pukul. Jadi the best way is memang yes, sekarang orang tak happy dengan kau. Let's say kalau kau tahu ni kalau aku turun, kau aku kena pukul. Kalau dia dah panggil kawan-kawan dia ramai-ramai ni semua kan. Takut nak bilang teacher. Kau terpaksa, kau bapak kau lah. Takkan bapak kau dengar bapak kau nak buat bodoh. But I understand kids they won't want to tell their parents.
Yalah, of course lah.
Yeah, but that's the only way. Pada aku, that's the only way. Jangan jadi hero.
So seandainya tak ada mak bapak, what will you suggest?
Your next of kin. You have your next of kin. You may also have your close friends. Kan? Or you have to tell your teachers. Memang isi ini macam hantu lah ni pautokia lah gini. Sometimes certain things, kalau kau dah bopen, kau kena bilang. Aku bukan nak ajar kau nak jadi hantu ke, jadi pautokia ke. But kau nak kena rimbat, kau turun lah.
Kalau kau rasa kau nak jadi sengsara,
kau nak jadi hero, kau turun. Kalau kau rasa kau boleh settle, kau boleh berbual, tak ada apa-apa, takkan gaduh, kau turun lah. Cuma kalau kau allow this to happen one time, it's not gonna be one time, it's gonna be multiple time.
Betul.
Pasal kalau kau allow this sekali jadi, dia akan berjadi repeatedly. Bila when that happen, that's when kau tak realise tau. The cycle will never stop. Pasal sekarang orang tu buat kat kau, nanti pasal kau buat kat orang lain. And kau akan buat lagi teruk kepada orang lain. Lepas tu kau pula nanti akan have to face the consequences.
Cakap pasal ni, aku ada satu story. Bila aku tengah secondary school time, aku ada hal dengan secondary school. So aku nak kena fight dengan budak Sec 5 bro.
Asal ni kau kena fight dengan budak Sec 5?
Budak Sec 5 ni tinggi besar macam kau. Aku tu time kecil. Jadi dia ingat dia boleh makan aku kan. So aku cakap, okay, tak apa. Kalau kau ingat kau besar, aku panggil abang aku. Jadi abang aku biar budak-budak sekolah. Aku tak boleh mention mana lah nama sekolah. So dia dengan budak-budak sekolah dia semua ramai-ramai datang dekat Pasir Ris punya Seashell Park. Dia dekat one of the park there lah. So budak-budak sekolah aku, yang semua yang apa-apa sek, yang lower-lower sek semua kawan aku. Okay, yang abang aku punya sekolah. So at the end dia diorang gaduh. Diorang actually thought diorang boleh bully aku. Pasal yang budak Sec 5 tu dah kasih aku dekat sekolah. Jadi aku complain dengan abang aku. So kita macam ramai-ramai turun. But it was lucky kita tak macam rioting. Macam sekarang kau ada hal dengan aku punya adik kan. Kau turun. Habis kau tahulah, bila actually hal dia satu dengan satu je. Lah dengan aku 3 orang lah. Tapi the whole school of the upper sec dia punya budak-budak kawan-kawan dia semua datang. Abang aku pula pun dengan budak-budak sekolah dia. So it looks like it's going to be ada gang clash. Tapi the differentiate at that point of time, we were lucky because we were all in white. Uniform sekolah, kita uniform, semua putih. Yang lain dia dalam collar dia je. So bila kita semua putih, so macam jadi kecoh lah. But then after that, bila abang aku dah gaduh, dah settle lah pangsuar semua kan, and then after that there were no bullying, there were nothing that happened in the school. Because they know if anything were to go wrong with me, dia nak kacau aku ke apa kan, aku ada budak-budak lain sekolah backing aku.
Correct.
Bukan untuk aku, aku datang sekolah bukan nak cek pasal ke apa. But they think that they are big, they can bully the younger ones.
Dia punya pattern macam gitulah selalunya kan.
Diorang fikir diorang besar, diorang boleh bully budak-budak kecil ni. Tapi bila aku cakap aku ada abang, terus diorang ajak fight kan, settle. Terus tak ada bully. Diorang tengok aku kat sekolah macam angkat muka gini, gitu je.
Tapi okay, ni pun very important pasal another thing that aku nak bring up is where okay, kita contoh tadi kita cakap pasal orang bully orang ni kalau kau kena bully tau. I think I'm talking on a perspective of a father. Okay. I think most importantly that's why I always say that macam in the previous episode kita cakap pasal about being calm so that you can make decision wisely.
Correct.
Apa aku learn as a father of course dulu kalau kena hang gaduh terus macam gila babi tau Apa lagi anak aku. Betul tak? Maksudnya kalau orang cakap pasal aku tak happy. Apa lagi kalau aku dengar anak aku kena bully, aku dengar anak aku bingit. Mesti aku bingit apa? Okay, but this is a skill where as a father korang kena have to develop juga, which is called negotiation skills.
Faham.
What does this negotiation skills means is that okay, contoh lah kasih contoh kau dengar anak kau kena bully. Pasal aku belajar ni daripada kesilapan aku waktu adik aku kena bully dulu.
Okay.
Pasal macam aku masuk boys home, pasal adik aku kena bully apa. So that's where it's important also who you call. Macam tadi kau cakap kau call abang kau. So abang kau macam okay, boleh fight ke apa kan, those kind of thing. Sama juga macam dulu, adik aku his intention was not to call me. His intention was to call my father. Okay, tapi bapa aku tak ada kat rumah, aku ada kat rumah. So aku pula tu masa tengah fanatic my time. Okay, but my reaction is different. My reaction is violence. Okay. That's why bila korang kena bully pun, korang kena also have to understand siapa yang korang nak panggil. Dah tahu dia ni kalau kaki pukul, jangan panggil dia.
Betul.
Okay, so contoh macam aku as a father sekarang let's put in a situation for myself.
Okay.
Letaklah aku satu hari aku dengar anak aku kena bully. Okay, anak aku kena hang ke, anak aku kena bully ke, anak aku kena pukul ke kan. Aku cannot be that dumb. Kalau aku turun, aku gerembat budak tu. Pasal aku bakal kena apa? Aku dah pernah kena. Dulu adik aku bully, aku turun memanglah jangan cakap satu curi handphone lah Aku sebab dia, aku akan kena apa?
Correct.
And end up aku yang masuk dalam. Then who's gonna look after my kids? So that's where we talk about negotiation skill. What are these negotiation skill? Okay, let's say ni benda belum escalate sampai physical, belum gaduh lagi. Okay?
Okay.
As a father, this is where I calm down. I have to be neutral. Pasal benda ni, gaduh ni akan terjadi not one-sided. Mesti two-sided. That's why it takes two hands to clap sampai bergaduh. Betul tak?
Betul.
Mesti anak aku pun ada salah, budak tu pun ada salah. That's why sampai bergaduh. So this is where we need to have a negotiation skills to come out to a term. So we have to be neutral without getting physical.
Okay.
So kau tak boleh datang, kau nak kena backing anak kau je. Betul tak? Aku pun tak datang, aku nak kena backing anak aku je. Why you kau pukul anak aku apa? Sekarang aku nak kau minta maaf. Tapi yang buat daca anak aku. We may never know apa. Jadi kita kena understand the whole story. Okay, kenapa jadi macam ni, kenapa jadi macam gitu kan. Tak kira siapa salah, siapa betul. As long as kita dapat settlekan that conversation, we come to a term, a mutual agreement. Try tu apa kau cakap? Pangsua. Kasih pangsua without aku baru belajar sebut ni pangsua. Without getting physical. So as a man, we need to have a negotiation skills. Kita kena be smart. That's why aside from this negotiation skills yang kita kena ada, is also problem solving skills.
Ini WSQ banyak ni.
Pasal apa? Pasal aku kalau okay, let's put the situation kalau aku tak ada negotiation skills, aku tak ada problem solving skills. If I don't have this, what I will do? Aku akan datang, aku akan pukul budak tu.
Kasih je.
Aku mesti kasih apa? Aku kasih dia, lepas tu aku akan bapak dia tak happy, bapak dia turun, aku pukul bapak dia. Kalau aku tak ada this problem solving skills. After all that happen, aku masuk dalam. Is that what I want? No what?
Yeah.
So what will be the alternative? So maybe lah, okay, let's put in a situation where okay, sekarang budak ni mungkin tak happy ke apa ke. Okay, aku tak nak berbual kau. Kau panggil bapak kau, aku berbual dengan bapak kau. Bila bapak dia turun, mungkin bapak dia pun gangster, kita tak tahu apa. So dia bapak dia pun paikia besar ke apa kan, datang kan, lalu ada
sekali members
can be members, tapi this is where kau kena pandai how to control the situation. Kau tahu dia sasat, kau jangan sasat. Kau faham tak? Kalau kau tu dia tengah agresif, kau jangan agresif. Kalau dia tengah fire, kau be the water. Because you can only talk to that someone when he is calm. So you need to understand the situation. You have to analyse the situation where okay, dia ni pun tengah panas. Kau kena your job is to cool him down, baru boleh berbual. Kalau api dengan api berbual, dia tak akan jalan. Jadi in a way sama juga macam kalau sekiranya kalau korang pernah dengar, kalau korang tengah dengar this podcast, korang mangsa bully. Sometimes yes, the fear is there, takut. Alamak, dia ni kejap lagi nak kena pukul aku, dia nak pukul aku. Okay, tapi korang pun kena faham, kadang-kadang korang kena bully pun ada sebab dia.
Yeah, correct.
That's why aku cakap, it takes 2 hands to clap. Kenapa kau kena bully? Takkan dia randomly tengok muka kau tak cute ke, muka kau tak handsome ke, gigi kau bogey ke, nak for fun nak bully. Mesti kau ada buat sesuatu that triggers them to do this kind of act.
Correct.
Jadi first thing first, kau tanya diri kau, is it because adab kau tak ada? Mungkin kau being very rude, atau kau being very cocky. You know, sometimes kau suka macam kacau-kacau orang. Jadi sometimes you have to adjust attitude. Kau tak nak kena bully, kau jaga diri kau.
Betul.
That's why this is what I could tell my kids. Sometimes yes, there are people who is gonna like you, but there are people also who will dislike you.
Correct.
Kadang-kadang orang tak suka karakter kau, orang tak suka kau. Jadi kadang-kadang macam kita cakap, aku tak sebulu lah dengan perangai dia ni. That's why the bully start. Jadi bila macam example, aku tak suka kau kan, Kel, aku akan try to panggil ramai-ramai orang tak suka kau.
Yeah.
Jadi ramai-ramai dah tak suka kau, dah satu kompak tak suka kau kan. That's why aku will take the first move, jadi pasal dengan kau. Jadi kita ni kalau tak nak jadi mangsa bully, kita have to be the smart one. Kita kena pandai not to retaliate back. Memang it's very simple to say buat bodoh. Tapi sekiranya if that were to happen, kau kena seek help. Kau tak boleh diam.
Ya, betul lah, tak boleh diam.
Tak boleh diam. Kau macam sense saja kan, budak-budak ni tak suka kau, this group tak suka kau, you have to let it out. You have to talk. If you are not comfortable talking to parents, find someone closer that you can talk to, counselors, teachers.
So I think yesterday we had this discussion also, like how do we identify if our child is a victim of bully?
Kalau pada aku, okay, first thing first is kalau kita ikut the psychological way, is kalau dia balik dia asyik muram, dia selalu diam, dia tak happy. And then kau akan let's say kau plan some activities. Okay, kau plan some activities tapi dia keluar dia tak happy, dia sedih, dia muram, means something is wrong. Ataupun dia senang marah, dia bingit. Pasal apa? Dia mangsa bully kat sekolah. Pasal aku tadi cakap apa, dia kena bully kat sekolah, dia akan lepaskan kemarahan dia dekat orang lain apa.
Yes.
So dia akan lepaskan juga kat mana? Kat rumah. Yes, correct. Jadi that's why it is very important when we talk about parenting pula, we come back to parenting. Kita kena selalu always plan activities dengan anak kita. Bukan not just about spending time. That's why people have to understand bila kita ada family ni kadang-kadang it's not just about spending time, having the bond. Sometimes during these activities is where sometimes where kita tengah happy. Kita ada tu apa dia cakap tu, kita tengah release kita punya dopamine dia cakap. Pasal kita tengah happy and everything. And during these activities ni, that's where kita start to share. Tengah good mood apa?
Good mood lah.
Tengah good mood apa? Macam kita tengah happy kan nanti.
Cakap nak kena calm. Bila happy lagi mulut gini kena cakap. Actually kat sekolah semalam kena bully lah.
Correct. Jadi pada situ that's why the relationship dengan anak ni very important. Kita sebagai lelaki ni, tanggungjawab kita ni bukan hanya untuk bekerja just to provide for the family. Being a father, being a leader in the family, it takes more.
Correct.
Ya, ini aku share dengan korang ni based on aku my life experience. I may not be the best advisors, but this is my experience. To me, it makes sense.
Correct.
Pasal aku pernah buat, and even up till now pun bukan cakap anak aku ni semua baik gila.
Yalah.
Masih juga ada masalah kat sekolah, girlfriend, boyfriend issues.
Biasalah
bila
bro.
tengok chat tak senonoh juga berbual. It's normal, but this is where I know what are my child's activities, which as parents you also need to know. Bila korang tahu pergerakan dia, karakter dia, so we can slowly start to know that dia ni adakah dia bully orang atau dia mangsa bully.
Yeah, correct.
Jadi another thing also is that very important, macam aku pernah share in the past previous episode, where you guys need to also not just kenal and tahu siapa kawan-kawan dia, korang pun nak kena tahu juga karakter kawan-kawan dia.
Yeah, correct.
Kau kena tahu tau. Pasal dia akan cerita-cerita kan, oh this one every time I come school like to bring vape. Kau dah tahu. Dia ni the cheeky one. Oh this one yesterday after school go and fight go and find problem Okay, tahu dia ni ada something wrong.
Tahu dia mereka.
And I cannot stop them from mixing with these people. Pasal dia orang classmate apa. Takkan kalau mak-mak kan, kau jangan campur dia ni budak jahat.
Aku kena banyak bro.
Dia ni budak nakal. Aku tak suka macam gitu.
Jangan cakap kawan lah bro. Kadang-kadang aku pernah kena saudara mara sendiri bro.
Tu common lah.
Kau jangan campur dia tahu, dia orang tak
saudara mara kau boleh elak bro. Tapi kalau sekolah, takkan kau nak tukar sekolah anak kau? Tak boleh apa?
Yalah.
Jadi kadang-kadang kita pelan-pelan, kita advise, kita cakap, okay, benda gini salah, kau jangan buat. Benda gini, sometimes we have to tell them about consequences. Kita kena bilang buat consequence. Okay, kau nak buat macam ni, kau nak have fun, tapi kau ingat kau buat benda macam ni kan, macam mana kau kena tangkap tau. Kau kena tangkap kan, kau kena bear the consequences. You have to face the music. Jadi I think come back to the topic where macam korang, aku rasa kalau korang rasa macam korang nak bully orang, korang rasa korang nak step mandek, orang cakap
word mandek tu benci actually.
Remember that kifara is real. Engkau sama juga macam kita. Kita dulu pernah pukul orang, life kita pun tak tenteram. Orang pun tetap pukul kita. So always know that sekarang yes, engkau rasa powerful, kau rasa kau hebat, tapi kalau kau tak stop, kadang-kadang kau akan dapat balak dia, dolat dia instant cash.
Kalau yang tu instant cash mesti okey tau bro. Kalau imagine kau dah tua kan, kadang-kadang aku fikir balik, kadang tengok cerita macam there are a lot of maid abuse the elderly.
Correct.
Kadang-kadang aku fikir balik, is that the hukum khilafah? Mungkin diorang muda-muda main time pun diorang buat, aku tak tahulah ya, just speculation. But at times pun bila aku tengok pun kadang-kadang apik-apik ni ke yang orang dewasa ni, kadang-kadang diorang pun mengada-ngada juga. Itu yang membuatkan maid diorang pukul diorang sampai teruk.
Ini pasal apa? Because ini pada aku lah, pada aku punya point of view, kenapa macam orang-orang tua ni banyak berkelakuan begini is because they cannot find peace in life. They have too much hatred in their heart. That's why macam mungkin diorang tak happy dengan diorang punya life. Diorang luahkan diorang punya perasaan marah kepada maid, to the outsiders, because they are not happy with their life. That's why it's very important untuk bersihkan hati kita dengan banyak zikir. Bersihkan hati kita dengan don't always think negatively.
Betul.
You have to always be happy. Even as macam aku pernah share this in my Instagram story, where kadang-kadang part of how kita nak happy is when we have to be happy for others being happy.
Ini dah ada quote tau ni.
Ni dah quote, ni quote aku lah.
Oh ni dah tak payah quote
kau
lagi.
Kau akan bahagia kalau kau bahagia dengan orang lain berbahagia.
Wih, deep betul.
So pada aku ni important guys. Sometimes yes, tak semua orang diberi nikmat kesenangan.
Betul.
Sometimes yes, kadang-kadang kita envy orang lain. Kita rasa macam orang lain ni hidup senang, ada ni, ada tu, ada ni. Don't take that as something that you want to be jealous of. Take that as an inspiration. Ataupun pada aku selalu percaya ni, tu rezeki dia.
Betul.
Memang kita cakap nasib dia baik, tapi tu rezeki dia. Mungkin apa benda baik yang dia ada, yang kau tak ada, tapi ada benda baik yang kau ada, dia pun tak ada. That's why for me, when kita berbual pasal this podcast, aku selalu nak talk more deeper when we talk about being positive.
Correct.
Bad things happen when you are being negative.
Correct.
So stay positive guys. Before kita wrap up on this episode, silakan. Aku dah kasi quote aku lah tadi.
Dia punya quote dah tak gentle lah, dia dah siang-siang. Okay, aku punya kira macam dah macam kena compile lagi tu.
Okay, go.
So it goes like this. Hurt people, hurt others. But true strength is breaking the cycle, not continuing it.
Ni aku suka saya ni.
Kira kau macam aku cakap tadi. Aku kat Boys Home ke kat mana-mana nanti, bro tolong boleh. Sekali bila dah dekat rumah, tolong. Krik tak ada orang nak tolong. So aku nak kena break tu cycle. Tu baru aku boleh macam baru aku boleh start belajar dengan diri. Tu aku balik kena aku dekat Boys Home ni aku cuci toilet.
Yalah.
Sapu, mop.
Ni very good point tau. Aku suka point ni pasal apa? Okay, contoh we talking about family generation. Sekiranya kau dibesarkan oleh parents yang very abusive, yang suka marah, suka maki, kau tak boleh bring that also to your children. Lepas tu kau cakap pasal mak aku dulu marah aku, pasal anak aku marah. That's why I love the word break the cycle. Word ni aku pernah discuss on it dekat Outside In podcast. So memang I love this term break the cycle because sama juga macam aku. Aku tak boleh, bukan aku cakap parenting mak bapak aku ni tak bagus. Tapi apa yang aku rasa yang aku affected as a child with their upbringing, aku won't bring it to my children.
Correct.
Because if it works, kalau parenting mak aku bagus, bukan aku cakap aku nakal. Tapi there are certain things macam yes, kita tak salahkan mak bapak kita pasal walaupun mak bapak kita baik ke jahat ke, kita still have to respect them as our parents.
Betul.
But still kita kena tak semestinya macam contoh, kalau bapak aku contohlah kalau bapak aku kaki minum, aku jadi kaki minum. Bapak aku kaki minum balik mabuk ke rimba aku. Aku tak boleh repeating the same thing apa. Kalau macam gitu macam aku cakap bapak kau makan tai, kau makan tai lah. You get what I mean, right?
Betul.
So we have to break the cycle. Yeah, it's a very good quote, Haikal Malik. Thank you so much for that. Okay guys, and before that, this episode is sponsored by Shima Martin Bridal.
Don't forget to follow them on their social media, TikTok, Instagram, and also Facebook.
And also you guys can WhatsApp them at 8894-7691. And don't forget to use the promo code REBUILD100 to get $100 off for package to office and above. Shima Martin Bridal, affordability at its finest. Kita akan jumpa korang till the next episode. Aku doakan korang semua berjaya dan bahagia. Amin. Jangan bully orang, jangan dibully. Seek help. Okay, and with that,
settle.